Okay, review muna tayo ng partial derivatives. For functions of one variable, katulad nitong y na function ng x, pwede natin kunin yung derivative ng y with respect to x. Depende na kung bakit natin kukunin. Hindi ko alam bakit natin kukunin, pero pwede natin kunin. For functions naman of two variables, tulad nitong z na function ng x and y, pwede natin kunin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to x, and pwede na natin kunin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to y. Pag kukunin natin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to x, i-hold natin yung mga y as constants. Saka natin kukunin yung derivative. Kapag naman kukunin natin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to y, i-hold natin yung mga x as constants. Saka natin kukunin yung derivative with respect to y. Okay, so examples tayo. Ito muna. Function ng isang variable, x. So f of x. Sabihin natin ito yung function. Kunin natin yung derivative niya with respect to x. So dapat familiar na to. Derivative ng x squared is 2x. Derivative ng minus 2 multiplied to x multiplied to 3 is minus 2 multiplied to 3. Tapos, ang derivative nito is 0 kasi constant yan. And ang derivative ng constant is 0. Okay, so yan. Nakuha natin yung derivative ng f with respect to x. Itong 0, hindi naman kailangan isulat. So, pwedeng burahin yan. Nilagay ko lang para malinaw since nagpa-practice lang naman tayo. Example lang naman. So, pwedeng ilagay, pwedeng hindi. Isa pang example ng derivative ng isang function of one variable. So, kunin natin yung derivative nito with respect to y. Ang derivative nito is 0 since ang derivative ng constants ay 0. Ang derivative ng negative 2 multiplied to 4 multiplied to y is negative 2 multiplied to 4. Okay, so derivative lang ng polynomials. Kung naalala nyo sana. Tapos ito din, derivative din ng polynomials. Monomial. So yung derivative ng negative y squared is negative 2y. Okay? So yun yung derivatives ng functions of one variable. Punta naman tayo sa partial derivatives ng functions ng two variables. So, eto, example. Kunin natin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to x. So, pag kinukuha natin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to x, hinohold natin yung mga y as constants. So, yung ibig kasabihin by holding y constant, i-treat natin yung mga y dito pansamantala as constants. So, pwedeng pagitan, parang iniisip natin na pinagitan siya ng isang constant. So, magiging parang kamukha niya to. Yung mga y dito, pinagitan ko ng 3 dito. Parang ganun. So, kung ano yung mangyayari sa mga 3 dito, kapag dinerivative natin, yun yung mga mangyayari sa y dito. Kapag kinuha natin yung derivative. Okay? Ganun lang yung ibig ko sabihin by holding y constant. So, eto, ang derivative niyan with respect to x, 2x, ganun pa rin. Tapos ito, i-hold natin yung y as constant. So parang ganito siya. Kung ano man yung nangyari dito, nung kinuha yung derivative, ganun din yung mangyayari dito, nung kinuha yung derivative. Pero imbes na 3 dito, y dito. So in-hold natin yung y as a constant. So parang nagbe-behave siya in the same way na nagbe-behave yung constant na to. Itong 3 constant yan. So, similar way kung paano nagbe-behave yung 3 dito, ganun magbe-behave yung y dito. Okay? So, parang nag-a-act siya sa constant kapag kinukuha natin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to x. Yan. So, yung partial derivative nito with respect to x is negative 2y. Tapos ito, ayun ulit, magbe-behave siya as a constant. So parang ganito siya. So, yung derivative nito, 0. So, yung derivative nito with respect to x is 0. Okay. So, ayun. Hinohold natin yung y as constant. So, nagbe-behave siya in the same way na nagbe-behave yung constants kapag kinukuha natin yung derivative with respect to x. So, ito na yung partial derivative ng z with respect to x. Okay. Kunin naman natin yung partial derivative ng z with respect to y. Kapag gano'n naman, yung mga x naman yung i-hold natin as constants. So ito, and ito, i-hold natin as constant. So, pansin natin, magiging kamukha niya, ito. So, parang pinalitan ko yung mga x dito ng 4. So, pinalitan ko ng isang constant. Parang ganun yung itsura niya. So, kung paano mag-behave yung mga 4 dito, kapag ginawa natin yung derivative, ganun din mag-behave yung mga x dito kapag ginawa natin yung partial derivative. Okay? So, partial derivative ng x squared with respect to y is 0. Kasi, yun nga, constant siya. So, parang tinatanong natin, ano yung derivative ng constant? 0. In the same way na, ang derivative nitong 4 squared, constant. So, 0. Next term, partial derivative nito with respect to y. So, ihuhod natin yung x as constant. So, magiging negative 2x. In the same way na dito, ang derivative nito with respect to y is negative 2 multiplied by 4. Okay? Tapos dito naman, ang derivative niyan with respect to y, negative 2y. Okay. Ayan. So, ganun kumuha ng partial derivatives. Partial derivative with respect to x and partial derivative with respect to y. Examples ba? Okay. Example. May function tayo of two variables. Z equals 3xy. Kunin natin yung partial derivatives nila. Partial derivatives niya with respect to x and with respect to y. So, unahin natin yung partial derivative with respect to x. So, ang partial derivative nito with respect to x, ihuhod natin yung y as constant saka natin kunin yung derivative. So, magbe-behave siya in the same way na nagbe-behave yung 2 dito, yung y. Okay? So, parang pinalitan natin ng isang constant. In this case, 2. So, kung paano nag-behave yung 2 dito, ganun magbe-behave yung y dito. Nung kinuha natin yung derivative nito with respect to x, ito yung nakuha natin. So, pag kukunin natin yung partial derivative nito with respect to x, ganito yung makukuha natin. So, 3y. Kunin naman natin yung partial derivative with respect to y. So, i-hold natin yung x as constant. So, para siyang yung 4 dito. Okay? So, kung paano mag-behave yung constant na to, dito, nung kinuha natin yung derivative na to with respect to y, ganun mag-behave yung x dito pag kukunin natin yung partial derivative with respect to y. Okay? So, kunin natin yung partial derivative with respect to y, magiging 3x. Analogo siya dun sa nung kinuha natin yung partial derivative nito with respect to y, naging 3 multiplied to 4. Okay? Example pa. Kunin natin yung partial derivative nito with respect to x. So, yung partial derivative nito, yung with respect to x, equal lang din sa derivative niya with respect to x. So, 2x. Ang derivative nito while holding y constant is negative 3y. Ang derivative nito while holding y constant is 4. And ang derivative nito is 0 since constant siya. And ang derivative ng constant is 0. Okay? So, nakuha na natin yung partial derivative niya with respect to x. Kunin naman natin yung partial derivative niya with respect to y. So, sa pagkuha ng partial derivative with respect to y, i-hold natin yung x as constant. So, yung derivative nito, kasi since hinuhold natin siya as constant, yung x. So, parang isang malaking constant lang yan. And ang derivative ng constant is 0. So, 0 yung lalagay natin dito. Okay? So, derivative ng constant is 0. Tapos, ito naman, derivative niyan while holding x constant is negative 3x. Ito, ang derivative niyan while holding x constant is 0. Since, yun nga, parang constant lang din yung x. So, constant multiplied to constant is ang constant. And ang derivative ng constant is 0. Tapos, ganun din dito. Ang derivative ng isang constant ay 0. So, yan yung partial derivative ng z with respect to y. Ayan. So, ganun kumuha ng partial derivatives. Okay? Ayan. Goods na tayo dito.